Hello everyone, this is John Frausto at TopSpinTennis.com. In this video I'm going to do an analysis on Serena Williams' forehand. I'd like to thank one of my YouTube subscribers, John Lynn Smith, for the recommendation. You initially wanted Venus Williams, didn't have any footage of Venus, but I did have footage of Serena, so this is for you, and thank you for your recommendation. So before I get into the video, and a lot of you know this already if you're a fan of Serena or have watched her play. I mean, she's a very powerful young lady. A lot of her power just comes from the legs. And so she generates power from the ground up. Now, one difference in each of the videos I want to point out is the video on the left is actually live play. She's playing out against an opponent. The video on the right, she's actually just warming up, and it's in the initial stages of the warm-up. So you're going to see that the two strokes are considerably different. A lot of the same commonalities, but due to the speed and the intent, the strokes are different, and I'll show you that in the video. Let's go ahead and look at the want to look at the grip. And when I was looking through this, it was evident, very clear, that she's in a semi-western grip. You can see that. So the base knuckle, which I always use as an indicator, is on bevel number 4. And with that grip, ideal for hitting topspin and generating power. So she's definitely in that semi-western grip. I thought that view made it very evident. Let's go ahead and look at her preparation. So as she sees the incoming ball, let's just look at that unit turn. So she takes a good split step. And here we go. Look at how in this video the racket head is already prepared. Right? Now, remember, in this video, the ball is coming in a lot slower, right? And her intent is not to hit it back as hard. The movement's not as substantial. So notice how that racket is already prepared, how much quicker it's prepped. And the video on the left, how she's just starting to prep it, right? So she'll catch up. These videos are in sync with the contact point. She'll catch up, see that? But she doesn't have to be as quick in this video here because she knows she has time. So anyway, interesting point in the difference in the preparation. But let's look at the unit turn. I'm going to watch. I want to watch the video on the left as far as the prep. So there's a unit turn. She does a nice job here of making that grip change. And one thing I want you to see too. Notice this. Watch the hand. Watch the fingers come apart a little bit here. Right there. Do you see that? How the fingers come apart. So a lot of times the prep with that grip is done with the non-hitting hand. So her left hand is really assisting here. The bottom hand, well, the fingers open up to allow for a better transition for that grip change. So interesting point. All right, so there's the prep there. She releases that non-hitting hand right around 3 o'clock. But notice here in this position how we can see her back. The non-hitting arm is coming away for balance. And notice the racket head, how it's above her head. So she gets a nice loop here. Let's look at her trophy pose right here where she gets the full load. Now she is moving to her right. She's getting pushed a little bit to the right. But there's that trophy pose where the non-hitting arm is out, racket head is up, and then she loads on that right leg. With Venus and Serena, you see them a lot of times. They use an open stance. Video on the right, notice how she's semi-open, almost a square stance, but here she's definitely in an open stance. And they use that a lot. You know what? At the higher levels, when you're getting pulled to the right, you don't have time. And it's not optimal to be in a square or closed stance. You definitely want to be in an open or semi-open stance. But there's that trophy pose. Let's look at the racket drop right there. So she's loaded, and now she's starting to initiate her hips and shoulders going to the ball. And she's not completely closed here with the racket face. It's probably at like a 45-degree angle. But she does a nice job of dropping that racket head. The racket head is to the inside of the hand, so she does get some leg. Let's look at the leg here in the stroke. A little bit of leg there. And then now she's going to pull to the ball. And there's the contact point. So notice how she's finding that ball right off her, out in front of the body. She's completely rotated her hips and shoulders into the ball. And let's not forget here either that she's really used her legs. She's really loaded off that ground. And here I'm going to try to notice how in this video, notice how she's coming off the ground here. So she's really loaded, and then she's uncoiling and using that kinetic chain to generate power. So there's the contact point. Now, this video, I'm curious on your thoughts on this. Is she going cross court with this shot or down the line? And the reason why I ask that is because if you look at the racket angle, notice how that edge is starting to come around here a little bit. And you see how it's not laid back. I've talked about that power position. So what are your thoughts? Is she going cross court or down the line in this video? In this video here, we know she's just hitting deep down the middle. Also, let's notice here, notice the different contact points. Notice where she's making contact here. And then here, she's a little bit just above her waist, right? So the ball's a little higher here, and that does change the stroke a little bit. All right, let's look at the extension here. So she does a nice job of going from the ball. Just going to give it a good drive and then pull up and across. And this is like a signature position here for the Williams sisters. Notice how that elbow comes nice and high. Be interested in your thoughts. Why is it that on that finish, and I've seen it with Venus as well, that elbow comes high? Is that something that they were taught as a junior, or do you think it's in the genetics, the way they hit when they're lifting and pulling up and across, that elbow naturally comes up and out like that? So I'd be interested in your thoughts. But does a nice job. So notice how she comes off the ground and then she finishes like almost like she's kissing the bicep here. I've used that with some juniors as far as like on the follow through, like kiss the bicep. I don't know if you guys have heard that in this one as well, same video. So anyway, there's the finish, and then she gets ready for the next ball. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button below. If you really like the video, please share it with your friends, family, coaches, players. Don't forget to hit that notification bell below to get my latest videos. Enjoy your day.